Hey, what's up guys, how's it going? So today is going to be more of a looser video, more of a ranty type video. At least on the day I'm recording this, it's Friday, so we're going to take it easy, we're going to take it loose, and yeah, we're just going to talk about midnight launches and console releases. The one thing I always try to do on this channel is I always try to show, good VHS footage of the console launches, like the original Xbox, Dreamcast, stuff like that. I always try to show that because I'm thinking about it, from somebody that never experienced it. I mean, just imagine the hype of the Dreamcast when it launched on September 9th, 1999, aka 9999.
Sega Dreamcast. It's thinking.
Like, just imagine being there at the Dreamcast launch, you're unboxing the console for the first time, starting it up, hearing that iconic startup. I mean, let's not forget the games. I mean, one of the Sega Dreamcast launch titles was Sonic's first 3D game. I mean, just imagine being a Sega fan in 1999, playing your first Sonic game, getting online for the first time. It must have been really cool. I mean, let's not forget about the PS2 though. I mean, that released on sometime during the year 2000, and that launch must have been amazing. Just going to the store, unboxing the PS2, hearing that, again, iconic startup. Now that I'm thinking about it today, I mean, back then, if you were to buy a new console, you were embarking on something, brand new. And granted, it's been 20 years since those consoles releases, and now we think of them, as badass old consoles. But back then you were embarking on something new. Well, let's just say somebody bought the PS2 when it launched. They didn't know it was gonna last till 2014. And unfortunately for the Dreamcast folks, that console didn't last too long, which is sad to say because the Dreamcast was a really underrated console. But of course, you had the replacement, the original Xbox. And as we can see today, a lot of these Sega Dreamcast games were ported to the original Xbox. I mean, Shenmue 1 was on the Dreamcast, and there goes Shenmue 2 on the OG Xbox. House of the Dead 3, Sega GT 2002, Jet Set Radio. All those somewhat iconic games for the Dreamcast were ported to the OG Xbox. And if you actually look into this, the original Xbox was actually meant to play Dreamcast games. So in a way, it was sort of like the Dreamcast sequel in a way. Like the original Xbox was, I don't know, a spin-off of the Sega Dreamcast, to say. I'm sorry if I'm going off the rails, but today's sort of a ranty video, I guess. Anyway, besides console launches, let's talk about game releases. Just extremely hyped game releases. Now, one of the games I hear had a big midnight launch was Halo 2. Now, to be honest, Halo 2 is not my favorite game for the OG Xbox, but I heard it was big. A lot of people lined up for it. Everybody got online, played each other in online death matches and stuff, and to be honest, that shit's kind of cool to me. Just buying a game on launch day, throwing it in your system, playing with your friends online on launch day. That sounds dope as fuck. Now, one of the midnight launches I actually got to experience was the midnight launch of GTA 5. And this is actually going to be a somewhat funny story, but I remember just watching the trailer of GTA 5, getting all hype and excited, just imagining what's going to be in the game, and somewhat overhyping GTA 5. Thinking I could pump gas in my car and shit, like GTA 5 was gonna be ultra realistic. If I shot someone in GTA 5, I would go to jail or something. But I remember watching the first trailer for GTA 5, and I just remember being hyped for months and months and months. And when Rockstar delayed GTA 5 for about another year or so, of course everybody was disappointed. I was disappointed, but I was still somewhat excited. Then that month, September 2013, that to me, that's a month to fucking remember. First day of school, I remember just everybody talking about GTA 5 and going to the midnight launch and stuff like that. And I remember begging my dad, please take me to the midnight launch, this and that. And he's just like, oh, it's a school night, blah blah blah. Of course, me being 15 or 16, I didn't really care. So I just kept on taking me to the midnight launch, this, that, blah blah blah. And I remember the night it releases, I go to sleep or whatever, my dad just knocks on my door, he's just like, get ready. And I just remember that moment, me and my dad we drove to the mall, everybody's standing in line, we're all hype and excited. And I remember this moment vividly. The first dude that got the first copy, he jumped in this car and did a burnout in front of the mall. It was, looking back on it today, it's sort of stupid, but just the hype and overall excitement for this new game was just palpable. And I just remember getting that copy of Grand Theft Auto 5 in my hands, unwrapping it from the sealed wrapper, reading the manual, this and that, the posters. At least when it comes to me, I'm not gonna have that moment ever again. If I could get into a DeLorean, there's a lot of places I would go, but the first place I would go to is that midnight launch of GTA 5. Anyway, I got home, and unfortunately I got it for the Xbox 360, and this is a bad thing when it comes to hype and excitement. I always look over the bad stuff. I got it for the Xbox 360, and I didn't know it had an installation disc. So I had to factory reset my Xbox 360 in order to play GTA 5, but even that wouldn't work, so I didn't get to play my copy of Grand Theft Auto 5 until Friday. Dad bought in an external hard drive for the 360, and I was finally able to play it. Granted, the hype sort of worn down by this point. I didn't get to play it at launch. That was a small disappointment, but just playing it for the first time was absolutely exciting. But the point that I'm getting at with this story is hype for a game could be super fucking intense. I mean, if you guys were there at the time, when GTA 5 launched, people were skipping school, people were skipping work, people quit their jobs to play Grand Theft Auto 5, people got early copies. And unfortunately for me, once I got my copy of GTA 5, I had to go to school the next day, and barely anybody showed up. But the point of this video is, if there's a game that's launching that you're really excited for, and it's having a midnight launch, go there. You will not regret it. I mean, hell, let's just say Rockstar releases GTA 6. Go to the midnight launch. Just go there. You will not regret it. The hype and excitement is just going to be intense. You're going to love it. Whoever's listening to this, I guess. But hey, if you want to, like, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. No rush. Now, tell me down below. Did you go to a video game launch or a console launch back in the day? Down in the comments, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
This seems to be a sickness that's growing in this country in recent years, and I've noticed it spread around throughout the entire country. More and more parents are seeking out help, trying to get some type of resource to help the management of anger in their children. Not knowing that it's simple as something you have in a household. It's a household item. Everybody has one, or should at least. All you have to simply do, and you apply this 2 to 3 times a day, it will start to change your child's entire outlook on life. Go in your closet, or maybe in a drawer. Typically, people keep these by their beds sometimes. And you dig out a fucking belt. And every time little Johnny wants to raise his hand, you try to beat the DNA out that sumbitch. Because in actuality, he's just dealing with demons. And you gonna have to baptize him. And you do that with his ass.